What if your depression isn't just in your head, but in your gut? What if the real cause of your anxiety, fatigue, and low mood isn't mental illness, but microbial imbalance? Imagine waking up every day feeling heavy, exhausted, disconnected. You look in the mirror and wonder, what's wrong with me? You try journaling, you try therapy, you try meds, and still, that weight never lifts. But what if the real issue isn't emotional or psychological, but biological? What if your gut has been screaming for help and no one taught you how to listen? Today, we're going to expose the hidden connection between your gut and your brain, and why the key to healing your mind might start with your stomach. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll understand how to rewire your body from the inside out. You'll see how ancient wisdom meets modern science, and you'll walk away with tools to take back control of your mood, your clarity, your energy, and your life. Your gut is not just a digestive organ, it's a command center. It houses more than 100 trillion microorganisms, a number so vast it outnumbers your human cells. In many ways, you are more microbe than human. These microbes form what's called the microbiome, a living ecosystem inside you. And while you may not feel them, they feel everything. The microbiome isn't just involved in digestion. It's crucial for your immune system, your metabolism, and, most importantly, your mental health. There's an invisible yet powerful line of communication running from your belly to your brain. We call it the gut-brain axis, and it's changing the way we understand mental illness. This axis is made up of neural pathways, immune signaling, hormones, and even microbial metabolites. But the star of the show is the vagus nerve, a long cranial nerve connecting your gut directly to your brainstem. Think of it as a telephone line. Your gut calls your brain constantly, updating it on what's going on below the surface, and the brain listens closely. But here's the twist. Your gut doesn't just send messages. It produces the chemicals that create emotions. For example, serotonin, often called the happy chemical, is mostly produced in the gut. In fact, about 90% of it is made there. Dopamine, the neurotransmitter of motivation and pleasure, is also synthesized in part by gut bacteria. So when your gut is inflamed, imbalanced, or damaged, your emotional world suffers. Your brain becomes inflamed. Your mood collapses, your motivation vanishes. This is not an abstract theory, it's measurable, it's physical, it's real, and it's time we take it seriously. Let's talk about symptoms, because chances are you've felt them. Brain fog, that fuzzy, slow, unmotivated state where everything feels harder. Low energy, not just tiredness, but soul-deep fatigue. Anxiety, heart racing, shallow breath, restlessness, even without a reason. Cravings, especially for sugar, carbs, fast food. Binge eating, not out of hunger, but to feel something. Unexplained sadness, a weight with no story attached. And worst of all, the sense that no one understands. What's truly tragic is that millions are misdiagnosed. Or worse, never diagnosed. Because we're looking in the wrong place. So let's get real. An unbalanced gut, a condition called dysbiosis, can be the hidden cause of these symptoms. Dysbiosis means your good bacteria are outnumbered by bad ones. This imbalance leads to intestinal inflammation. And when your gut is inflamed, your entire body enters a stress response. This inflammation doesn't stay local, or it spreads to your bloodstream, to your immune system, to your brain. The result? Neuroinflammation. Your brain's chemical balance is disrupted. Stress hormones like cortisol spike. You lose deep sleep, you lose motivation, your cravings intensify. It's a vicious loop. Bad diet, dysbiosis, inflammation, mood changes, more cravings, worse diet. And the longer it goes on, the harder it is to escape. But the good news? This cycle can be broken. Let's look at the data, because while feelings are important, facts are what change minds. Let's bring science into the room, and give your suffering the validation it deserves. In 2019, a groundbreaking study published in Nature Microbiology revealed something extraordinary. Patients with major depressive disorder consistently showed reduced gut microbial diversity compared to healthy individuals. Now, microbial diversity isn't just a fancy word. It's a cornerstone of health. It means resilience. It means balance. It means adaptability. The more types of bacteria you have, the stronger your internal ecosystem becomes. But in people with depression, that diversity is gone. Their gut Ecosystems are dominated by fewer species, often the wrong ones. And this isn't a one-off finding. In 2016, researchers conducted an experiment so simple and yet so profound that it shook the field. They took stool samples from people with clinical depression, and then they transplanted those samples into germ-free rats who had never been exposed to any microbes before. What happened next? The rats began to act depressed. They became anxious, isolated. They stopped exploring. They avoided other rats. They even ate less, just from receiving bacteria from a depressed human. Let that sink in. This tells us something radical but unavoidable. Mood is transferable through microbes. What lives inside you shapes how you feel. Other studies have gone even deeper. They've measured changes in neurotransmitters after probiotic interventions. One 2020 review found that certain strains of Lactobacillus rhamnosus can significantly reduce anxiety, even outperforming conventional medication in animal models. Why? Because those bacteria don't just sit there. They produce GABA, calming neurotransmitter, directly in your gut. And guess what? That GABA crosses the gut lining, influences the vagus nerve, and eventually reaches your brain. Clinical trials in humans are confirming this. People supplementing with Bifidobacterium longum have shown better sleep, improved mood, and even reduced cortisol levels, the hormone of stress and burnout. This new field is called psychobiotics. It's the future of psychiatry. It asks, what if we can treat mental illness? With food, with microbes, with ecology, not chemistry? The data is clear. Your gut isn't just part of the equation. It might be the foundation. And the best part? This science is no longer locked in labs. It's accessible, it's actionable, and it's waiting for you. So what's destroying your gut? Antibiotics you didn't need, artificial sweeteners, highly processed frankenfoods, chronic stress, sleep deprivation. These daily habits are silently killing your bacteria and hijacking your brain chemistry. Let's break it down. Every time you take antibiotics unnecessarily, even for a cold or sore throat, you're not just attacking bad bacteria, you're wiping out the good ones too. Some of them never come back. That delicate microbial balance, shattered. Then there's the food. Fast food, microwave meals, snacks that never spoil. These processed frankenfoods are packed with chemicals that disrupt your gut lining, fuel bad bacteria, and trigger inflammation from the inside out. Artificial sweeteners marketed as healthy can confuse your gut. They don't just trick your taste buds, they shift the makeup of your microbiome in harmful ways. And stress? It's not just a feeling. Chronic stress signals your body to suppress digestion and ramp up inflammation, the exact conditions in which harmful microbes thrive. Top it off with poor sleep, blue light, endless scrolling, and you've got a gut that's constantly under attack. The result? A weakened second brain and a mind that begins to suffer quietly. The revolution starts in your gut. You don't need to suffer endlessly. You just need to feed your second brain what it craves. You don't need a complicated protocol. You need to go back to what your body was built for. Add fermented foods, yogurt, kimchi, kefir. They help repopulate your gut with friendly bacteria. Then feed those bacteria with prebiotic fibers, green bananas, oats, asparagus. Cut down the processed sugar, the sodas, the snack bars that pretend to be healthy. Start small. One real meal a day. One fewer can of soda. One more glass of water. And don't forget the basics. Sleep, movement, breath. They aren't luxuries. They're biological needs for your gut to function. You don't have to overhaul your life overnight, but each small step is a message to your body. I'm listening now. Let me tell you about Daniel. He suffered from chronic depression for over a decade. Therapy helped, meds numbed, but nothing worked until a gut-focused protocol changed everything. In 8 weeks, his mood stabilized, his focus returned. He reconnected with his partner. Daniel didn't heal his brain. He healed his gut, and his mind followed. Daniel's story is one of quiet desperation and radical transformation. After years of feeling numb, flat, and stuck, something changed when he focused on healing his gut. He cleaned up his diet, added fermented foods, got outside more, slept better. And slowly, the fog lifted. The anxiety softened. His energy returned. It didn't happen overnight, but in 8 weeks, he was a different person. Not because he forced his mind to change, but because his body was finally working with him. Daniel's story reminds us, healing doesn't always come from the top down. Sometimes it begins in the gut and rises up to set the mind free. You're not broken, you're not lazy, you're not weak, you're misinformed. You've been taught to treat symptoms instead of systems, to suppress emotions instead of decoding them, to medicate instead of nourish, but now you know better. If this video opened your eyes, like it did for Daniel, like this video. If you felt seen, subscribe. If someone you love is struggling, share this. It might just save their life. Heal your gut. Free your mind. Reclaim your life.